Blog Talk Radio.
Hey, what's going on, everybody? Happy Friday. This is B Street Sports Talk Radio. It's our fantastic Friday show. This is the show where your host, Lee, the Hoops Guru, along with my man, Eddie, Mr. Know-It-All. We make our picks for NFL Week 12. You know, we've got a head-to-head battle going on for world supremacy. Right now, the Hoops Guru is in the lead. What's going on, Ed? How you feel about that, bro?
Oh, it's all good, man. You know, it's just a small thing. We still got about 5-6 more weeks to go. So now we got to see if we can hold on to it and sell like the Cowboys. So it's all good.
You know, yeah, maybe like the Washington Wizards, man. You know, we get up early and we start choking in the fourth quarter. You know, dudes scared to start playing scared to win. But, you know, hey, it happens, man. But, hey, this is Week 12 in the NFL, man. We're getting down to crunch time. There's a lot of good games on the docket this week, man. So, you know, I know you got a lot to say. So, you know, let's get to it. Both of us, we did, even though we didn't have a show, we both spoke off air and going to take the victory for the New Orleans-Atlanta game. Neither one of us was going to pick Atlanta to win that game, but closer than you thought, huh?
Yeah, well, that's how it is when you have a division game. You know how it is. You got to go ahead and throw the records out the window. So that was clearly evident that Atlanta wanted to go ahead and try to do a little something and put forth as they say, a valiant effort, but a loss is still a loss. So they're 2-9. They can go and eat that.
2-9. Are they the most disappointing team in the league this year?
I guess you would have to say so. You know, a team that basically just came from what was that, NFC championship game, and then they go 2-9. But I mean, they had a nice little run of being very good, but you know they hadn't been injured for the past couple of years, so the injury bug just finally caught up with them. So next year we'll see what they do.
Do you think a return to glory can easily be had next year, barring everybody returns healthy, even though they should lose Gonzalez?
I want to say no, because Gonzalez will be gone, and that defense will be a year older. Part of the reason, another problem they have this year was the fact that they lost players on defense. They didn't think they need, like Brett Grimes, who went to Miami, and other players. So, you know, I think their glory days are for the most part gone because Sean Payton got back with the Saints, and then my man Cam was putting in work with Carolina. So, yeah, they got a lot more teams to compete with than normal in the division. So I personally don't see them winning the division no time soon again.
You know, and that is true because I think, you know, you could kind of count on those Carolina wins in years past. It looks like that's a team on an upswing. And, the thing that may be very beneficial is if Carolina could get in the playoffs and make a little noise, how would Carolina look for free agency next year? Possibly get them a little more toys to play with other than Steve Smith? It's quite possible. You know?
Yeah, maybe.
But let's get to it, man. Matter of fact, we're talking about Carolina. Let's talk about their game. They're on the road in Miami. Who do you have in that game, Carolina or the Miami Dolphins?
Well, I'm going to go ahead and go with the more offensive Kansas City Chiefs in the NFC, led by, Cam Newton, the player that everybody slept on and was thinking it wasn't as good as all these new young punks like RG3 and Kaepernick. So I got big on my dude. And Luke Kuechly got the defense. They should go ahead and beat Miami by 10-plus points because Miami still can't block anybody, and they still are not a very proficient team on offense. Defense is pretty good, but I see Carolina being able to go ahead and, wear that defense out.
Yeah, I think Carolina has proven to be an upper echelon team. They started off kind of rocky, but they gelled pretty well. But you know what, Miami, even though they have a lot of turmoil and things going on this season, they do have a 500 record, and they're tied with the Jets. It's weird because the Jets, they have the second wild cards position right now, I do believe. So it looks like that thing's up for grabs for a lot of teams in the AFC East. So this is a very important game to them. So they could at least attempt to, maybe play with a little bit more effort. But I don't think it's happening. I think the Carolina Panthers believe in themselves, and confidence goes a long way in sports. So I'm going to pick Carolina to win this game on the road. The next game we have to speak on is Chicago Bears at the St. Louis Rams.
I'm going to go ahead and, despite the fact the Bears defense is really not that good. The Rams should be able to run the ball. They still got a backup quarterback. I'm not really showing any offensive weapons. I don't see Tavon Austin being able to save them like he did against the Colts. So I'm going to take the Bears with one of the better backup quarterbacks we've seen in the league right now, Cade McCown, and Brandon Marshall and company should be able to put up enough points to go ahead and outlast the Rams defense.
Yeah, the Rams they're a weird team to me this year. They kind of win a few games here and there, to me, when they're not supposed to. This is another game that could possibly happen because Chicago's they've shown some inconsistency this year, but maybe more of that thing that happened because they tried to inject Cutler back in before he was healthy. It's going to be weird to see when he comes back if they're going to go to him. Although, you know, they're tied for leading positioning. McCown's playing pretty good at that position. But in that regard,
there's no shot. McCown is the backup. Okay, just stop that.
Hey, I'm just
no matter
saying,
what he do, this ain't no Nick Foles situation. Majority of those wins was with doggone Jay. Jay is the out-known starter. Cade is the backup. Stop it.
All right, that sounds great in theory and everything, but he is no Manning. He is not no Manning.
Okay, that's not fair. Who is? His own brother ain't him. That's not fair.
Hey, yeah, his own brother is him. His own brother has 2 rings. He's definitely him.
No, he's not because he's not. Eli Manning is not in that category. Stop it. Go into that game. Stop.
The rings are equalizers in all situations. Jewelry.
That's not true.
It is. Jewelry trumps stats. That's what you play for.
Can you go to the next game, please?
It's like if you're playing spades. You know what I mean? Having rings is like, yo, I got the ace of spades and the deuce of spades. You know what I mean? It just carry a little bit more weight, man. You know, you got to give them that nod. But, you know, we can banter about that all day. I'm still picking Chicago to win because St. Louis isn't that strong, but I really think they really have to give McCown some serious consideration because rhythm is very important in sports. You got to agree with that. Rhythm's very important, right? Look at Philadelphia.
2 totally different scenarios. They actually have 2 quarterbacks that can play quarterback. Philadelphia only has 1.
And they want to live, right? I guess I can't really back Vic up, can I?
No, you really can't. I know you want to, but no, you can't.
Can't. So, you know, let's move on, man. Anyway, the New Jersey, why I keep calling them New Jersey? That's disrespectful. The New York Jets at the Baltimore Ravens.
Because they both play in New Jersey, that's why.
Yeah, you know, but it ain't in their title.
I'm gonna. This is just one team playing bad and another team playing bad. That game's in Baltimore?
Yes, sir.
Okay. I'm only giving this game to Baltimore because the game's in Baltimore. I mean, both teams are not playing well. Like, really, the Jets should win the game, but right now, Geno has been playing horrible the past 2 games. I know they're going to want to run the ball to take some pressure off of him. I don't know if he's going to be able to if the Jets going to run the ball with Chris Ivory against that Baltimore front. So I'm going to take Flacco and his sorry playing, but and just say they're just going to win just because they're at home. It's probably going to be another game under the 20s, and somehow Baltimore get lucky and win because Geno's having a bad day. So I'll take the Ravens.
I really, really, really can't see the Jets winning this game, but then that's the type of game they'll pull out, you know, because I think they've rotated every week this year, win, loss, win, loss, win, loss. So this is the week they're scheduled to win. But that ass beating they took last week with Buffalo, man, has me thinking they may have lost something. I'm not sure. I mean, Baltimore still has talent, and I think if it's a close game, you'd have to give them the nod. So I'm going to have to pick Baltimore, man. Like, a part of me is tempted to pick the Jets, but I just don't feel it. I just don't see like they may have lost something. So we're both picking Baltimore on that one. Now let's pick this is going to be the ugly game of the week, but this game's so ugly it might actually be kind of hard to pick. Jacksonville and Houston.
I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to take Houston.
Okay.
I'm going to take Houston, and Case Keenum is still going to be the quarterback, so that means Andre Johnson will actually get the ball this week. I know he threw the ball to Graham last week. Schwab is back on the bench. And pretty much everybody for the most part except for, I forgot, the Colts beats Jacksonville. So Jacksonville is still a mess on offense with their quarterback, and the defense is pretty solid, but they should be getting worn out against the short passing game and running game of the Texans. So I'm going to take Case Keenum and the Texans.
Wow, this is really, really, really an ugly game. And you know what's funny? I have a feeling Jacksonville could come in there and win. But they're so horrible, you really can't afford to roll the dice on them as close as everything's going. So if they were at home, I think I would pick them. But for the fact that they are on the road, I'm going to have to give Houston the slightest of slight nudges and pick them. Minnesota at Green Bay.
Now, see, another game where we got, what's that?
I said another ugly one, too.
Yeah, it's an ugly one. Minnesota, Green Bay. Minnesota at Green Bay. This guy, Tolzien guy, he's really been dropping games for that team. They've been in position to win some games, but he's just been throwing some terrible interceptions and things of that nature. I haven't really seen the games that they've lost with him playing where they've been really getting gashed on the ground. Ponder is back. I'm not really high on Ponder either. The defense for the most part is solid, but he's been, erratic at best. He'll have a couple of good games stat-wise and do something silly as well. And I think Adrian Peterson he's still hurt from his groin injury. So, but he's still playing. I think he said he's like at 70-80%. I'm just gonna, I don't know. You know what? I'm just gonna go ahead and take Green Bay because, they're at home, right?
Yeah, they're at home.
Yeah, I'm just gonna go ahead and take Green Bay and just say maybe the home crowd does something for them, whatever. But that's just how much I just can't do anything with Minnesota right now. But go ahead.
Is Clay Matthews back?
Yeah, he's back. He's still working his way in the shape and health. I think this will be his third game back, I think. Because he had one game with the club on, one game with off, and I think this is his third game.
I just think, and they still got the third stringer starting this week, right? Green Bay.
No, yeah, Tolzien, yep.
I'm picking Minnesota, man. I'm picking Ponder and Adrian Peterson's running game and the stability they have to take it. It seems like there's something with Aaron Rodgers, man. I don't know if he's taking the air out of them or something, but you can definitely see the drop off in there. So even though Green Bay's at home and that used to be the Fortress of Solitude back in the day, I think Minnesota, as a rival of this team, have some motivation. And that little bit of motivation going against a third-string quarterback could be the difference. I'm picking Minnesota to win this game on the road. Wow, this is I think this is a tough game, actually. Pittsburgh at Cleveland.
Let's see, Pittsburgh at Cleveland. I'm ahead. And Pittsburgh at Cleveland. I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to take.
I said they're both 4-6.
Yeah, I know they're both good. This is going to be. Yeah, this is going to be a game. Yeah, this is going to be a game where somebody pretty much gets eliminated from the playoff contention. Right now, I'm going to go with Steelers. They went ahead and they shut down Megatron in the second half in their game, and they was able to go ahead and piece some things together. Big Ben's playing well, Antonio Brown's playing well. So I'm going to go and go against them, even though I do like Cleveland's defense, but they can't really run the ball, and they don't really have a lot of great things going on offense. So I'm going to take the Steelers to go into Cleveland and get the dub.
So you picked Pittsburgh, correct?
Yep, I'm up for Pittsburgh.
And you know what? I'm actually going to pick Pittsburgh, too. I think they're the Giants of the AFC. Is a team that, started off the season surprisingly bad. I think they've, refound themselves now. They've won the last two games. Cleveland's not a world beater, so I could see a team like the Steelers that have found their stride, found their rhythm, going in there and handling their business, knowing that they still have a chance to actually, stay in playoff contention. And remember, these guys have jewelry. Not all of them, but at least some of them do. So that leadership should be valuable right now. So I'm going to pick Pittsburgh to win this game on the road. Tampa Bay at the Detroit Lions.
See,
Tampa's on a streak, right?
Wait, Tampa's on a streak?
Yeah, that's a streak, man.
I'm taking the Detroit Lions to go ahead, and I know they've been talking big enough to match up with the Reavers versus Megatron. I believe the last time they played, Reavers was in New York. He held Megatron to one catch for 13 yards, but that was when he was totally healthy, and also when he went ahead and had a great defense. Tampa defense is not on the level that the Jets defense was back in the day, nor was he being used the same. I know Reavers is playing more press man-to-man coverage because he says it's something a lot better as they have an ACL. But just based on where Megatron's game is now and what Stafford playing, he'll be following him all around and stuff like that. But they better not leave that man on that boy right now, one-on-one all across the field. They can do it here and there, but the key thing everybody's been doing is been doubling up on Megatron because they haven't had the ability for anybody else to go ahead and get off. They say Nate Burleson from the issues he had from when he broke his arm in the car, trying to pick up a slice of pizza, that he's been in practice looking good. And I know Stafford is 73% completion throwing to him when people do, jock Megatron. So I'm going to go ahead and take the Lions. They should blow out Detroit, but Tampa, even though I'm not giving a lot of credit, they are going to be a game team to play against because their defensive front's playing well, and also, Detroit has a hard time, which is ridiculous, but they sometimes have a hard time stopping the run. So the guys they have, they'll be in the backups that ran all over the teams last week. They're going to try to slow the game down and try to, give Glennon some balance. But just because of the fact that Detroit needs this to try to nail down the division, I'm going to go and give it to the Lions.
Yeah, you lose a lot of words there, man, on this whack game. I'm picking Detroit too, man. Detroit's at home. They're healthy. I hope Reggie Bush is healthier than he's been. But, you're going to have to pick your poison. If they focus on that Megatron matchup, Reggie Bush is going to have a big day. If they try to, close the pocket up, then, Grievous is really going to be on the island right there. And I think Stafford and Megatron could have a field day. Plus, Detroit's at home. I think they had a bad loss last week. They did at Pittsburgh. So I see these guys regrouping and having actually a dominant performance at home. So I'm picking Detroit. San Diego at Kansas City. That's an interesting game for Kansas City, actually.
I don't really see it being an interesting game, only because of the fact that, to me, because I have Phillip Rivers in fantasy, that offense has not been as proficient as it has been in the beginning of the year when he was pretty much rivaling Peyton Manning in reference to, ratings with throwing the ball. Kansas City's coming with a loss, getting ready for the rematch next week against Denver and KC. So I look for Alex Smith and company to, go ahead and rattle Phillip, beat him up a little bit. Defensive offensive touchdowns to help out Alex Smith and his inability for the offense to get over 20 points and for him to go ahead and beat the San Diego Chargers.
They are at home. They're coming off their first loss of the season. I think this is a good team to regroup off. San Diego is a division opponent. They're on a 3-game losing streak, and that losing streak should go to 4 games. I see a focused Kansas City trying to get back on track, knowing that they got to win this game because they have Denver coming in the next week. So I think this will be a game they win handily. Kansas City at home. Tennessee at Oakland.
Yeah. Oh goodness. All right. Well, here's the thing.
Right?
This is a game where it's sort of similar to the situation with the Eagles in a way. The backup quarterback for Terrell Pryor is actually a better passer than he is. So he's been getting the ball to people like Streeter and the tight end who TP disregards altogether, and he only throws the ball to one person. So the offense should be a little bit more proficient. They've been really good running the ball. But I'm going to go ahead and give it, because both of these teams are playing with their backup quarterbacks. So I'm going to give it to Tennessee because Tennessee has a better defense. And Fitzpatrick, he's a guy where he's, like a captain. He's like an Alex Smith to a degree, a captain check down type of dude. He doesn't really put the ball downfield. And maybe historically, Oakland is terrible against the run, so he'll probably get a lot of help this week with CJ2K. So I'm going to go ahead and take the Tennessee to get that W.
Did Terrell Pryor get his spot ran?
Yeah. Well, the thing is, they're saying they're giving him more time to heal, but the coach did say that McGowan went ahead and he deserved this second start based on how he played last week. So unofficially, his spot got ran, but it'll be official after this week.
Let me see something real quick. This is a pretty evenly matched. Their brackets are the same. Oakland is coming east. But Tennessee is on a 2-game losing streak, and Oakland did get a surprise win last week, so it tells me they do know how to play with this backup quarterback. I'm gonna go ahead and pick Oakland, man. I think Oakland's capable of winning this game. I think it's late in the season, and Tennessee may be throwing in the towel a little bit. So I think Oakland can go ahead and get this win on the road. Just think they're a little bit better than Tennessee. Indianapolis Colts at the Arizona Cardinals.
What's the game again?
The Colts at Cardinals.
Colts at Cardinals. Wow. Now here's the thing. The Cards have a very good secondary. They're really a weird team. They have a good secondary, nice linebackers. They don't really have proficient pass rush. Offensive line's been in trouble all year, but somehow they're 6-4. Against the Colts, you know what? The Colts, Mathis, who leads the league in sacks, he should be able to go and get some pressure on Carson Palmer. So that admiration he had last week against Jacksonville, who everybody let get off, I'm not really taking into consideration. I'm going to go ahead and see. The thing is that the Colts are going to keep this in this game because they're one of the teams like the Texans where they play a lot of man, and you can't man Fitzgerald and Floyd, but they're going to do it anyway. But just based off the quarterback play, the better team, I'm going to go ahead and take the Colts.
Wow, it's hard to pick Arizona, because of their history. But it is surprising too that these dudes actually are only one game behind Indiana. They're 7-3. The Cardinals are 6-4. They're on a 3-game winning streak. That tells me they kind of one of those games it was Jacksonville, so that don't count. Mm-hmm. Houston, but that don't count. And
remember the Colts get Jacksonville twice, so remember that.
So in that regard, I think this may be an eye-opener for them. I think Indiana's going to come in there and handle their business. It's a winning streak, but kind of a bogus winning streak. So I'm going to pick Indiana to win this game on the road. Dallas at the New York Football Giants.
Oh, why don't we just let you go? We know where you're going.
Hey, I'm NYG, man. I think my boys are. The offense is not where it's, supposed to be, but it's awake, and it was dead at the beginning of the season. The defense is alive. They're putting pressure on the quarterbacks, interceptions, hurries by the other quarterbacks and things like that. They haven't played the best quarterbacks the last couple of weeks, true, but like I said, confidence goes a long way in sports. I think they smell that they're in it, and I think any team you don't want to awake over the last 5 years is this team, the New York Giants. So they know this win right here really gets them in the division. I think they'll be ready to play. I think the Cowboys do have some injuries too in their linebackers, so that may play into this as well with that already putrid, I ain't gonna say putrid, but bad defense the Cowboys have. So I think the Giants will be able to pull this win off at home. So I'm picking the Giants to win. Go ahead. Hey, I've been honest most of the year with them, man.
All right. Anyway, like I said, I don't want to, but just because of the fact I'm not going to be biased like people think that I am against this team, the Cowboys should beat the Giants. The Giants' defense is horrible. The teams they went ahead and they beat have been teams either with backup quarterbacks or teams that were just sorry as they were at the time. And they're disappointed the Giants just won just off the fact that they had better talent, they couldn't beat them. This is going to be a step up in competition for them for the other quarterbacks that they face. So I'm looking for Romo and company to go ahead, put up big time numbers, and even probably and DeMarco Murray for some reason he seems to have good running games against the Giants. So they might even actually get a running game this week. And Romo company, of course, JVP acting like he's a little bit more healthier. So he might get a little pressure on Romo, but for the most part, the Cowboys should go ahead and beat the Giants handily and go ahead and end this fairy tale of everybody thinking the Giants can just turn it on when they want to, even though they didn't do that at all last year and everybody kept waiting.
You said a key word. You said handily. So, when you do caveats like that, we got to put you on the line. Handily, what's the final score?
I see something like 34-17.
Man, you got to love the internet, man. You got to love the internet. So they're going to double them up, huh? That's man. Yeah. If I was Stephen A. Smith, I was like, that's so disrespectful.
Hey, don't get me wrong. Don't get me wrong. The Cowboys defense is going to keep that. Is going to be a lot more close. But the fact that Eli's been having the turnovers he's been having, he'll make the Cowboys defense look great this week. So.
Hey, but you know what? Maybe Eli has settled down some. I don't think he thinks he has to do it all on his own now. And this team has a history, man, so they should be woke. So I understand what you're talking about with the Cowboys coming in here. I did pick them to win the division, but they haven't resembled any of that. And I think confidence, well, this is going to test my theory with confidence, because I think the Giants should definitely be more confident in Broncos at home. And it's not like the Cowboys are a great road team anyway. But let's move on.
Well, I'm surprised. I'm surprised we didn't have nobody call in for that one. So I know I got a lot of Cowboy fans to say I always be hating. So.
Oh, you ain't picking me. As a matter of fact, we got somebody on hold right now. I'm glad you said something, man. Hold on.
That's what I did.
Hey, how you doing, caller? Sorry about that, man. We got caught a little bit here.
Yo, tell him you got to turn down his radio in the background. Yo, tell him you got to turn down his radio.
Yeah, you got to turn the music down a little bit. How you doing, caller? How's everything?
Hey, I'm good. How y'all doing? This is I'm Charles, and I'm a Cowboys fan.
Okay.
I got a question for y'all. Did y'all hear about Terrell guaranteeing a victory on Sunday?
Say that again?
Did y'all hear about Terrell Thomas guaranteeing a victory on Sunday?
No, I did not hear that at all. I'm down here in Atlanta. It hasn't called me on the airways. What about you, Ed? I know you're up there in Philadelphia.
Well,
right.
Terrell Thomas, what he said was he pretty much was in his rant, he was basically saying that they're going to get hands on Dez Bryant, and Dez Bryant don't like to be touched, and they're going to be physical with him. And they basically were saying that once they take him out of the game, that they feel like they was going to win. So, yeah, that's what the caller's making a reference to.
Okay. But, as an athlete, that's what you're supposed to. I take guarantees with a grain of salt. But who are you predicting to win the game?
I'm predicting the Cowboys to win by 3. Only because
what's the final score?
The final score is going to be a shootout, 38-35.
38-35. You remember this, Ed, right? 38-35.
Yeah, unfortunately, I'll be hitting him up during the game, so you're gonna hear my mouth. He ain't got to worry about it.
I mean, the Cowboys getting a little bit healthy with Ware coming back, Hatcher coming back, Claiborne coming back, and Wilcox back. But the middle of the defense is where Eli gonna hit first to open up the outside.
That's right. Yeah, I see that happening as well, and I think Victor Cruz is gonna have a very nice day tomorrow, Sunday.
He might get a couple catches. I think they're gonna hold him under wraps.
Hey, you predicted a shootout. Somebody got to score these touchdowns, and it's not going to be the Giants' running game.
Oh, no, that's not going to be that. Somebody else had to get on. He's going to score, but he ain't going to have no 3 touchdowns for 115 yards and all that.
I mean, it sounds like you're hating a little bit from statistically the best receiver in the NFC East the past 2 years.
There you go.
I'm just saying statistically.
That might very well be true, but him and Stanzik have had good battles. One got the other, and vice versa. different games. It just depends on who gets who. But I think
don't forget about Hakeem Nicks and Randall.
What'd you say?
That's right.
I know.
Don't forget about Hakeem Nicks and Randall. It's not just Cruz.
You know, Cruz is the guy that yeah, but you know, like you said, you're gonna have if you're gonna double up on Cruz, then Hakeem Nicks with the big hands is gonna have a big day too. Like I said, you said a shootout, so somebody's gonna be scoring on their
half.
I
just said it won't be Cruz all crazy. He's gonna kill you. Like Hakeem Nicks is not a deep threat. You
know? But remember,
they'll probably do what they always do.
Played week 1, all 3 Giants receivers had over 100 yards receiving. So everybody had a big day in that regard, you know. So focusing up on Cruz too much isn't going to make a world of difference, you know. But like
they would have took 3 touchdowns off the board. They still would have had the 100 yards, but that's 3 touchdowns off the board.
Okay, so
well, not all of them, maybe
smart
not
enough. Yeah, Eli's smart enough. Is like you say, okay, we see double coverage on Cruz. Oh, I see my man Nicks cutting across the middle, you know, and he's kind of good with his feet. He always kind of stretches it out, gets a lot more yards on his feet than actually in the air. So, you know, it'll be, you know, it's a divisional game, it's an important game, so it's definitely going to be exciting.
But I'm gonna take Hakeem Nicks because he drop a lot of balls and he don't have a touchdown the whole season. So if he beat me, I'm cool with that. Victor Cruz is not going to beat me because I know that's where Eli want to go. That's his scapegoat.
Yeah, that is his focal point. Just every team has one. You know, every team has one. Right. You know, that's what it is. Hey, we appreciate your call. We got a few more games to cover before we get on out of here, but appreciate your call. Keep listening and feel free to call in at any time.
All right, thanks for that, man.
All right, have a good one. All right, and we got a few more minutes to wrap this up. Denver at New England.
So historically, Brady beats Peyton, but that was when he had the better team. I feel that Denver is a better overall team than the Patriots. So I'm going to go ahead and go with Peyton Manning, and plus they need to win this game because whoever doesn't win the AFC West is going to go from a first-round bye to hosting a wild card game and be the 5th seed. So I'm going to take Denver to go ahead and beat Brady. And actually they're favored in Foxborough by 2, by the way.
I'm picking Denver as well. I just think they're the better team. They're on the roll. They got their confidence. You know, only way New England might win if it snows and they're kicking the field goal. They need some dude to come over and plow the field real quick. Other than that, I think they're just superior to New England right now. New England's showing vast inconsistency, especially if they're only going to score, 9 points? Is it against – no, what was – oh, gosh, I'm going to get my – I can't remember the final score up against New England and Carolina, but in any case –
it was 24-20.
Well, we know Denver's going to put up more than 24. So, I mean, Peyton.
Yeah, but then you can also say that the Patriots are going to put up more than 20 because the Denver D is not as dominant as Carolina's D. So I mean that could be like the last caller just said. It could be a shootout game because again Brady does have all his weapons, but I'm still going to go ahead and take Denver because I just think that they're just better defensively than New England. So eventually, they'll make a play to seal the game.
Yeah, and it seems, also remember New England does have some missing pieces on their offensive line. So I'm pretty confident Denver's going to handle that. Now, the last game we got before we get out of here is San Francisco at Washington.
Monday night. I know the tight end, rookie Reed, they've already said he's going to be out, so it's going to be Paulson. That's a big weapon that RG3 is losing. But just defensively alone, I'm looking for Patrick Willis and company to go ahead and shut down RG3 and them, get some pressure on him, slam dancing around last week like he did, and go ahead and get back on the winning track so they can stay in that wild card spot.
Hey, RG3 might not even play the whole game this night, man. I think that San Francisco defense is going to get after him. and make him rush. He might get hurt, or the score just might get bad. And Washington's defense is terrible, so Kaepernick and those receivers should have a very, very good night against Washington. As a matter of fact, you know, especially it seems like the Redskins are having locker room issues, a lot of pointing the fingers, you know. Seems like a lot of guys have some distinction against distinction. I hope I'm using the right word. Just have some ill will, let's say, towards Robert Griffin right now. So, you know, divided locker room doesn't help out at all. So, you know, the lights of Monday night does always give people an opportunity to come together, especially in Washington. You know, they always got a good home crowd, but San Francisco's just too powerful. I think they'll make an example of the Redskins, and it won't be close. So I'm picking San Francisco as well. Eric, so we actually did a little overtime tonight, but we got all the games in. Very good show. We got our picks. It looks like there's a few games here and there that are going to make the world a difference. But we'll get back together Monday or Tuesday, do our little recap on these week's picks, and see how we fared. Anything you got to add before we get out of here?
No, we got some, for the most part, we got some pretty good games on Saturday for college football. You got my man Journey Football going to Baton Rouge to see LSU. And that's going to be a situation to see with Florida State, how they come out and play this week with the allegations with Jameis Winston and, you know, and things of that nature. But for the most part, FSU is still good, but they're talking about they might file some charges as early as next week. Might be held a little bit because, you know, Thanksgiving. So if they do that, he'll be spinning for the team, and that'll be a world of difference for FSU. So we'll see how this situation plays out, because that's going to open things up for OSU and Baylor.
Yeah, we might have to add another show Saturday, man, just to kind of touch on college football and topics like that we really don't have time to get to on our little our Friday NFL pick shows. I'm going to watch a little NBA tonight. I'm going to watch the Wizards play Toronto. I'm going to check out Phoenix and Charlotte. Yeah, that shows my basketball junkiness. But I've really got it. Phoenix looks good. And I'm definitely going to watch Chicago and Portland. Portland's the hottest team in the league right now, and I want to see what they're doing and how they're being so successful. So that's what I'm doing tonight, man. Hey, you be safe, brother, and I'll catch up with you shortly. Y'all be safe out there, y'all. Peace.